Hi everyone, this is Sriyansh. Uh, Today is 15th May 2022. The time is around 6 p.m. and today I'm making this video because I want to share my experience of my first semester of college, which was on the in the online mode, and then there'll be a follow-up video to compare this with the offline or the physical mode, which is my second semester right now. So to start off, my first semester, it started on 16th of October 2021, if I'm not wrong. And on that day, I was not at home. I was actually attending a wedding in Andhra Pradesh, and it was sort of a remote location. So the situation was so bad that I logged into my class on Microsoft Teams, but I couldn't hear anything properly. It always said, trying to reconnect or bad network, something like that. And but yeah, the one thing I do remember is I was sitting on a mattress on the floor, holding my laptop, and I was just trying to listen to the class while everyone were outside having breakfast, and they were going out reading, getting ready for the marriage, the reception, and all. And I was just sitting there listening to college classes. So that is how it started off. My first class was on electrochemistry, and chemistry is a subject I'm a bit weak on. So the first semester was called chemistry cycle because we our subjects were chemistry, biology, problem solving using computers, which is basically C language, uh, basic electrical technology, and environmental studies (EVS). So these were the subjects I had in my first semester. I was not interested in any of them except for C language and electricals. So these two were the most interesting ones. I used to listen to those classes and skip the other classes. So I used to, after I came back home, a friend of mine suggested that I watch Peaky Blinders. So I started watching Peaky Blinders. It was so interesting to me that I skipped my classes. I used to log in, keep it at that, then watch Peaky Blinders, then and listen to the class at the same time. If there is something important going on, I used to attend it because first two semesters is mostly what you've already learned in 11th and 12th. I'm sure all the college students would agree. So so you don't feel like listening to it more if you've studied properly in 11th or 12th. So I was just sort of ignoring it and watching Peaky Blinders, and that is where my first semester going downhill started. I watched Peaky Blinders. I used to, put the class aside. Then in the morning, once the classes were done, because it was online, I didn't have any labs. So every day was a half day for me. It was an alternate days. Like first day, for example, Monday was from 8 to say 12:30, and so Tuesday would start from 1 or 2 in the afternoon to 5:30 or 6 in the evening. So that is how it was alternate days. I used to listen to the class. I used to watch Peaky Blinders in the morning during the class hours, and then in the evening, I used to just sort of, revise or cover up whatever they've taught in the class, and that is how I prepared. So, and at the same time, there were a few books I wanted. There were, a few books I wanted to read. First one is this, For the Love of Physics by Walter Lewin. Second one was something my friend suggested, and then there were none by Agatha Christie. And the third one was something my cousin suggested, Are You Afraid of the Dark by Sidney Sheldon. So these are the three books I wanted to read, but because of my poor time management skills, I couldn't read any of them. And this was sort of the time when we bought our new car. So we used to, sort of tour around, go to the nearby places in the car because you give your car to for the first service after a certain number of kilometers. So we used to tour around, and I used to put my class on silent and just sit in the car, go. Uh, But then I used to study properly. I came back, I revised everything, I studied. But there was absolutely no interest in chemistry. It was literally zero. I never liked chemistry because it was more of remembering the facts, and I was more of a physics person. I wanted to understand the logic and derive things for my own. I never remembered formulas in my life. So, chemistry cycle was a little tough for me. After the chemistry cycle, in the chemistry cycle, after a certain number of days, our quiz one started. Quiz one is just a regular assignment after every class. So then I was forced to listen to the class. I used to sit and listen to the class. Then there were the Microsoft forms would open up. I and there were two questions, I guess. Two questions. We answer the two questions, and that's it. Time around 5 minutes time was given for two questions. That is how quiz one went. After the quiz one, in I guess this is during January of 2022, we had our in semester exams. So the in semester exams, I did them pretty well. In semester exams were very good. I did them well, and after in semester, towards the end of January, we had our end semester exams. But the end semester exam was a disaster. I don't know why it could have been so much better, but it was an online paper. So the paper setting was very tough according to me, and I couldn't do well in that. There was a funny comment made by my dad that day. I told him that I didn't do it very well. I could have answered everything, but I didn't. He told me, if they ask you 10 questions and you can answer only 8 of them, and if the reason is not the time constraint, that basically means you've understood only 80% of what they've taught. The 20% you didn't pay attention. So, this was a comment my dad made. Once you come to college, it suddenly feels like such a different experience because in the online mode, more like studying. I was in my room the whole day. There was a laptop, then there was the 1 by Wacom pen tablet which I took. I'll just show it to you. This pen tablet which I bought, thinking I would help 10th and ninth class students in their studies because I was good at science and math. I could help them and make some pocket money. That was my intention, but that never happened. This became my tool for taking digital notes. It was very handy. So after sort of that, my I just used to sit in my room. There was the LED light, the tube light. There was a study lamp, and that's all. I just used to study, watch YouTube half the time. But when you come to college, everything changes. You see people. In the offline mode, you don't know faces. In the online mode, you don't know faces. But in the offline mode, you see people. You go to class. You look at your class topper. You want to beat him someday. You just are working so hard. You want to study. You want to beat him. You want to be the first person to give the answers in the class. You want to understand stuff. You want to make friends. Everything is new in the offline mode. Our teachers even today they say your problem is that you forgot how to study because of 2.5 years of online teaching. And they were true because literally my time management skills were so poor, I couldn't manage time for anything. And in the end, it became a death load. The online semester was really hectic. It is something I would never want to have again in my life. And I really hope for it. I really hope nothing goes wrong, nothing becomes online again. I hope everything stays offline. It is very good this way. And yeah, that is how my first semester was. The end semester could have gone really better, but then yeah, what's in the past stays in the past. You can't change it. So I am working. I wouldn't say to my full potential, but I'm working well these days. I am gaining knowledge. I am applying it. I am satisfied with my academics right now. It's going very well, and yeah, I can nothing but hope for the best. So I hope you could relate to a few things in this video, if not the whole thing, because I just feel like online semesters are all the same. And if you have any interesting online slash offline stories which you would want to share, please do feel free to do so and put them in the comment section. I would love to read them, and so would other viewers. So thanks for watching, and I'll meet you in the second video where I'll be talking about my offline semester.